Hi there, in this video I'm going to show you my selection of 5 models you might have not considered to build for any difficult level. This time we take a look at Amati's models. The first question I asked myself when making this video was what makes a kit interesting? Price, design and fit, historical accuracy, popularity, clear instructions, availability, difficulty, brand, or just because the kit looks cool. Preferences seems to be uncountable and infinite. As a result, I understand if you might not agree with me. So let me explain you how this is going to work. I've selected 5 interesting models that are not so common in the model ship building community based on the information availability on one of the most famous forums on the web. I then considered 4 parameters that will help you compare and assess the overall difficulty of the model. The number of musts, planking difficulty, number of details, and time to build. First up on our top 5, the whaleboat of New Bedford. If you already watched my full video log on this model, you know how much I appreciated it, for its ease to build and for its level of details. Online you can find enough information if you want to make some adjustments or apply modifications to your needs and taste. This boat model has just one mast, and you can choose whether you want to display it mounted or not. Planking part is a bit unusual and might be new to most ship modelers. Nothing too difficult. The hull is clinker built, so for these 2 reasons I gave a score of 2 out of 5 points for the difficulty level of this model. Details variety are a lot for such a small boat. The scale of 1/16 certainly helps. Super useful for beginners, model maker who want to experiment new building techniques. 2 out of 5 points for the details level on this model. The time needed to build it is understandably very short. The 5e is one of my favorite Amati's model, and it was released quite recently. Super detailed and high quality instruction and plans, beautiful lines, and the possibility to build it with an electric motor are the features that make this kit interesting for both experts and beginners model maker. If you missed my series on this model, I am building it from scratch, so check it out, the link in the top right corner of this player or in the description below. The Shebeck. You probably didn't see this model very often on the web. The Shebeck is part of the Amati Classic models. It's a 72 cm long ship with 3 masts. I have got plans and instructions of this model, which seems clear enough to build it without stress. Don't be fooled though by its dimension. The 120 scale and the huge amount of details of this model will require you a lot of work hours, especially if you want to make your own decorations, if you want to substitute the kit deck grates and the additional boat you can see on the deck. Because of the fat main bulkhead, the hull planking phase needs your full attention and patience. For this reason, you might want to check out my video on planking the hull. You can click in the link in the upper right corner of the video or in the description down below. The Lady Nelson. One of the models of the Victory Models series I really would like to build next. It has nice and smooth hull lines and very nice and simple decorations. Zeros online are enough to get support from fellow ship modelers. It has 1 mast, and planking might be a bit difficult as far as I can see from the hull lines. It has good level of details and the time to build it is average. The Polacca Veneziana. The overall structure looks amazing to me. I'm a bit concerned though about the backboard and the other decoration, which I guess are made of metal. In general, I tend to make them out of wood, so in this case I would consider this a good starting point for practicing carving and decoration. I've read of some people complaining about the kit instruction, so I would not recommend it as a very first kit. Also, the 150 scale can be very tricky, so you might think of skip this if you're not really into small scale models. To sum everything up, if you want to start a new model that is not that common, you can have a look at these 5 models. Now, visualizing it might make it clearer. If you want to start building a model that is not so common, then go with the Polacca Veneziana, which scored the lowest level of information availability. Be aware that you might not be able to find the help you're looking for if you need it. The higher the mass, the higher the difficulty level. It's not a written rule, but you can make your thoughts on that. The Whalebot and the Lady Nelson might be the models that you're looking for if you want to achieve fast results. Planking is one of the variables that you really need to think about when picking one of these models. If you're a beginner, I would totally suggest you to leave the last 3 models. Details most of the times work like musts. The more the details, the higher the difficulty. For the whaleboat, I must say that the high amount of details won't bore you because of the variety of them. You won't have to make 100 pieces of the same things for hours. So think about it when you're picking one of these models. Last but not least, the time required to complete the model, which doesn't require further explanation. These are the 5 most interesting models made by Amati that you might have not considered to build. Let me know if you built one of these ship models, and let me know also what do you think of them in the comments below. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you want to support me, and see you in the next video.